What's your favorite scary movie?
Happy Halloween.
Today is one of, I think, both of our favorite
Time of the year, man. It's this Halloween edition, man. Halloween's right around the corner, man. Fall, weather's right. Come on, man.
Bonfires, hoodies, and scary movies.
Hey, that's a hell of a combination right there.
It's my favorite time of the year, bro. I know going even back, like, being younger, I remember, like, this is, spring and summer and when, like, all those are great. But, man, fall, there was something different in the air.
It's definitely something different, man. Fall is my favorite time of the year. My daughter was born in October. Halloween, probably my favorite holiday, just because I'm anybody that know me know I'm a horror fanatic. So this is, like you said, hoodies. You can wear jeans. Some days you can still wear those shorts on. It just depends. Like the weather's kind of like bipolar.
Here, you never know.
Yeah, definitely, especially here. Yeah. This is my favorite time of the year. What would you say is fondest memory of Halloween?
Watching Children of the Corn and being petrified because where I lived at, I was surrounded by corn, and I felt like they were all coming for me.
Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. I gave my parents some assurance that I wasn't going to be scared. I lied. I was scared shitless. No.
So Children of the Corn was the first movie that scared you as a kid.
It terrified me.
Yeah.
And when I go back and watch it now, it's kind of like, it wasn't that big of a deal. But like, the relatable thing of, you're surrounded by corn, dude. Like, you're in the worst case scenario. If they show up, if they decide to ride through your town, you're next.
You felt like it happened right here in your town.
It did.
Yeah.
So what is your fondest memory of a scary movie or your first scary movie?
I want to say the first scary movie that I really remember that terrified me was Child's Play. And it's because I used to have a dog. It was a dog back in the day. You probably remember My Buddy, where it kind of, My Buddy and Me, And the dog kind of, like when I look at it now, when you Google it, I'm like, it don't look that much like Chucky, but it look enough like Chucky, So when we seen Child's Play as a kid, I probably was like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 when that first Child's Play came out. Yeah, I was young. And that was my favorite little doll to play with, a toy or whatever. Man, the next day, I personally took that doll to the dumpster and got rid of it. I couldn't do it, man. It was over.
Holy cow! It was done.
I'm gonna tell you another movie that.
Before you do, did you go back and check to see if he was still there the next day?
Nah, not at all. My mama to this day, man, she tells that story sometimes. She was telling it to my daughter, like she was like laughing, like she was like that look. She was like, man, that Chucky scared the hell out of him. Like it really did, man. It really did. So
and Chucky's only about this tall.
Man.
But evidently he was a terror.
Yeah, facts.
So I'm going to blow your mind and tell you something because I think over the years, people go, like, how do you not like this movie? For Halloween, I am not a Michael Myers or Halloween fan at all.
Oh, man, you tripping, man. You bugging, man.
We finally found something to disagree on, right?
Yeah, like, come on, man. Michael Myers is the GOAT, man.
I'm going to have to go back and watch because it's been some years, right? Like, it's been some years. But for some odd reason, I always connected with Nightmare on Elm Street because of we all dream and have nightmares. And, I mean, I've been to summer camp with lakes. Yeah. I get it. Like, I remember just thinking, I'm not really scared of a dude with some kind of Halloween mask, right? And walking around with a knife. Like, I don't know why.
See that, but it's weird that you say that because that's what scared me. I'm like, man, this dude is just... The Michael Myers mask, it is just a white mask, just a pale white mask, and this dude is just walking around with a knife, a butcher knife, killing people. Everybody. Yeah, I guess it was like, for me, it was a little more of a realness to it. Like I felt like that can happen more than where. Don't get me wrong, I was terrified of Freddy and Jason too, but I felt like with them, you would see them. I don't know. I felt like you would see them. A lot of stuff happen to them more, like where you like they should have died from that. With Michael Myers, it was kind of like. you know, he got shot or something. But you know, people survive getting shot.
Right.
He never got done just to the point where you just like, I don't know, it was a realism about Michael Myers that kind of scared me.
One of my favorite pictures is the Michael Myers when he's standing behind the green bush.
Oh yeah.
Where he's looking up to the side. You know, and I guess especially being young, because I don't really find when people say horror movies now, they really have to be extreme to get to the same point of what I remember like when I was young. But now that I've gotten older and I watch, and some of these movies are just like surreal. I mean, they are so far, you know, different than, you know, what they had to do back in the day with film was, you know, like, I don't know if you've seen behind the scenes of like Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, the makeup and the VFX like back then is nothing like it is now.
Oh yeah.
You know, the simple, but how real some of that is. Now, some of it looked laughable.
Yeah, looking back at it now, some of it you can see I want to say it's the first Nightmare on Elm Street. It's either the first or second Nightmare on Elm Street. I can't remember which one, but at the very end, it's the first one because they got Nancy in it. The first one where they feel like they defeated Freddy and all that. He comes back, her mom's like waving bye to her, and she gets in the car, and then the red and black hood comes over the car, which is, you know, Freddy, and then her mom gets pulled through man, when you see that, you can literally see it's just a mannequin.
I know, right?
Like I'm like, and it's like, damn, that looks so cheesy now looking back at it, but back then it was like you said, it was scary.
It was a big deal because it was advanced for us, you know, for what we've seen. So I thought it was really cool. But I would say probably like it's on the bottom of my list. I know that Halloween, yeah. Maybe I'll change my mind, and before the year's up, maybe I'll go back and I'll watch all the Halloweens. But they were so I didn't find any interest, so I didn't really even get like indulged into the character or into anything.
Yeah.
You know who I remember probably more than anybody than Michael Myers is Jamie Lee Curtis and the bald detective.
Dr. Loomis, yeah.
I didn't even know his name.
But see, that's why for me, like you had Jamie Lee Curtis, you had Dr. Loomis, you had the girl in parts 4 and 5. Her name was Jamie, the little girl. She was supposed to be his niece. I feel like the characters outside of the main characters were better on Halloween than Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know. It might just be me. I was just invested in Halloween, but I love Jason too. For Friday the 13th, but man, they did the most with Jason. Man, took him to Manhattan, took him to space. You like, bruh, this is getting out of hand.
He is the most traveled horror figure ever. Like he's seen it all. You know, with his opportunity of just killing people, it's really opened a lot of doors for him. But I'll tell you. Yeah, I think at what point that should have been done. But then you look at Jason versus Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy versus Jason. Yeah,
or Freddy versus. Oh, it is killer. Like I remember watching it, going, I'm shocked at how good it is.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was dope. That's definitely a dope movie. Freddy versus Jason. Around that same time, they came out with that Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake that had Jessica Biel in it. That was good.
Yep.
I feel like in the early 2000s, there was like a little resurgence of some real good horror movies, and like you had The Wrong Turns, and they remade.
Those were good.
Yeah, a few of those were good, but as me and you done talked about before, it's like after you get past like 4 or 5, it just be like they start doing just wild shit where you be like, come on, man, this is getting corny.
Well, it's like making stuff up that's just so far fetched. We could tell, you know. There's Quentin Tarantino, who's one of like my favorite filmmakers. Mm-hmm. All his movies, and that's what I kind of find interesting, and when movies use things from earlier movies to make sense of things, like all his movies, make so much sense without telling you it makes sense. They say who was the first killer in Friday the 13th. She was like, Jason Voorhees. She's
on Scream, on Scream.
Yeah, on Scream, and they're just like, no. And I was like, what do you mean no? And then when I heard it, I was like, oh, I'd have died too. Because I
would have too. Yeah. People forget that his mom was the killer on the original Friday the 13th.
It wasn't him, yeah. But I'll tell you what I always found funny is no matter how fast you could run, this dude could walk faster than you could ever run. And
every time.
It's like, all you have to do is not fall down. And you could probably outrun him.
Every time, though. You know they're going to trip every time. Trip and twist their ankle or something. Every time. It never fails. I don't know. It was something nostalgic about that time, the late 80s, all those movies. Like, do you feel that there'll be any more horror icons, or do you think we would just, because you got to think about this: the Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, Chucky, all of these, even you can even say on a lower scale, Hellraiser, our Pinhead, the main character on Hellraiser, the main villain. But these villains have been around, I mean, shit, now almost 50 years, some of them, 40, 50 years. And it's just remake after remake after remake. So it's like, we watched it, our daughters watch it, our grandkids are gonna watch it. Do you feel like there will ever be any more newer? I guess you got Jigsaw from the Saw, kind of.
But you told me Adam the Clown or from the Terror, like, and I haven't
Art
watched
the Clown, yeah,
Art the Clown,
yeah.
I haven't even watched it yet, but you know, I think there'll be, as far as big. Man, I don't know.
That's it.
I don't. I think there's a very little chance. It's almost, you know, we get into every GOAT debate, you know, there is. But I think at that point, those are iconic.
Solidified.
Yeah.
It's definitely solidified. I don't think, I mean, and then it's like you said, it's not even new anymore, but Scream, the Ghostface character, that's an iconic horror character now.
Yeah. And that's the newest one.
Yeah. And that was 96, you know, when that came. So that's been a while as well. But I do like Art the Clown. I do think Art the Clown is definitely a good. I feel like he has.
Is it gross, man? I've heard like people said they were walking out there. Of course, I don't believe what the internet says all the time.
Yeah, that's what they say. I mean, I like gore and shit like that. But a lot of people, you know, it could, a lot of the gore in it, if you got a weak stomach, it could gross you out. Like me.
Really?
Yeah, I like it though. So, and I think he has the potential to become like, he ain't, you know, that movie hasn't crossed over to like pop, you know, to become like a pop icon like Freddy and the ones we named before. But I feel like he has the potential to do it.
Well, I mean, the third movie, right?
Yeah.
Is it Terrifier 3?
Terrifier 3.
I've got to go back. I've got to. There's so many movies like I want to go back and watch. And then, like I said, I've heard some good things about it. I don't know. I never found like clown scary. Like, remember they used to do the ones that were standing off in the, you know, like through the hood. Yeah. You know, and I'm just going.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's what I was gonna say earlier, man. I feel like when I was a kid, Pennywise, the first It, like the old It from like 1990. Oh man,
spooky. Yeah.
Tim Curry playing. Oh man, that to me that It looks more scary than the remake.
Yeah, Pennywise is another one we didn't mention. Yeah,
Pennywise, and I feel like, man, that movie's scary because I remember me and my brother, we had like a couple clown pictures in our room after we seen that movie. Man, I'm looking at the pictures, man. I'm like, oh my Lord, man,
it's coming off there.
I'm like, I do not want to be Georgie, man.
Oh, come here, Georgie. I'll tell you what, and some of those movies back then, you know, when you look. They were just so well. They weren't just horror characters. I mean, they had some serious backstory. Like almost every character too of how things are created. Stephen King. I mean, come on, man. Like, GOAT. I mean, the stuff. And it's so weird. You see him in the movies and you look and go, "Guy's kind of a strange looking guy." It's like, have you read anything this guy's wrote?
Stephen King. Wes Craven, he's R.I.P. to Wes Craven. I mean, some people love Rob Zombie's movies. I like some of them.
Yeah,
I didn't like
I
didn't like the when he got a hold of the Halloween franchise. I didn't like what he did with that. But
no, even the cover, I remember looking at the cover going, nah, that's not gonna be
you're like, this ain't it.
Nah, this ain't it. Yeah.
Look, you was like, I already don't really mess with Halloween like that. Nah, this ain't gonna get me to start messing with it.
You
like
do any better. No, this already looks like it's far fetched from the original, and I didn't like it either. So, but I'll go back and watch, and I'll give it the old college try.
What would you say is a hidden gem, a horror movie that you feel like you liked that maybe wasn't that popular amongst like everybody else, but you felt like, damn, that was pretty good that I don't hear too many people talk about for real like that?
Man, I don't know if I have any hidden gems because I have a big mouth. Yeah. So I think I tell everybody when I find one. Yeah. You know, there's not one that I can recall, but the one that least expected that when I remember watching and hearing the plot was Saw.
Saw, yeah.
And I went, it's like, oh man, these two dudes are trapped in a bathroom. I'm like, this already sounds very weird to me. You know, like it's already striking me odd.
No
and the fact
Diddy.
No Diddy. I said, but the fact that you're
Pause.
saying he didn't just spell rapper without the P, did he? But I remember going, I'll watch it, man. And like the slow start, but it was so different.
Nah, yeah, that first Saw was dope. That's a classic.
Oh, and it was, low budgeted. I just feel like some scary movies, man, when they don't have the big budget, the money, the Rob Zombie money, even Stephen King, like some of those raw, because that movie is it's a genius. Who doesn't want to be able to hold a bunch of people accountable for their actions and what they do and when they hurt other people, right?
Yeah, just that plot alone.
Justice.
Yeah. Saw definitely out of because that came out in the 2000s. The Saw was really good, but they ended up doing what they got about 9 or 10 Saws or something like that now.
They're talking about Saw X as a 10.
Yeah.
Well, and like we've talked before, it's kind of like just killing things off. And again, if you guys, man, I know there is a huge amount of movies we have not mentioned. We only have so much time on the podcast. But you guys, please feel free to comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. What's your favorite scary movie? What was your first scary movie? So I'd love to hear it. But I'll tell you another one that was really a shocker that I just loved was Final Destination.
Oh, man. Yeah, Final Destination. I almost forgot about it. I love Final Destination, too.
It's not a Halloween. I mean, I think any horror movie is best seen in Halloween.
Yeah,
scary movie, horror movie. But,
Final Destination is dope. That's super dope. Final Destination. And I'm going to tell you one that's kind of like underground a little bit that I felt they could have kept going, but I think they stopped after... I don't know if it was 2 or 3, but Hostel. I don't know if you ever seen Hostel, but Hostel is
good Lord. That's one of my favorite, like I'd say probably top 5 of non horror slashers.
Yeah.
That's because that is relatable.
It can happen. That can happen for real. You feel me? Like, man. That
you get off the train and don't see no pretty women, get back on the train.
Yeah.
Get out. That was horror. Like just even the thought of like how fast it happened is like dude's buddy just disappeared.
Right.
And then the other guy disappeared. I'm going, get out. But the story, how it ended and how it started in the next one was just great.
Yeah.
Because you see him, you're like, oh, he made it.
The dude that directed that, I believe, is Eli Roth. I feel like
that's another one.
He's pretty good
great.
too with what he does. That Cabin Fever, that first Cabin Fever, that was dope.
The remake was terrible.
Yeah, the remake was
or whatever.
Terrible. Yeah, but like you said, these are they're horror movies, but not in the sense of like that. Like
horror
spooky,
guy,
yeah. But those are definitely dope. So let me ask you this to kind of veer away from the movie aspect of Halloween. Was you like growing up? Was you like excited? Like couldn't wait to go trick or treating and dress up, get a costume? Was you like I guess just like. Did you were you a bad kid? Did you like egg houses and do all that? Or you was just more so just like...
No comment. Can I just be honest? I don't want to make anybody mad. In case somebody be like, that was my house. I think we all did, crazy stuff. Definitely had some fun. I wouldn't consider myself a bad kid, but, certain nights you do certain things.
Yeah.
But I would probably say I got out of Halloween pretty early. I don't think I did... Knowing where we live in the country, I bet we've had 4 trick-or-treaters, like the entire time that I've lived here for a year. Yeah, it hasn't been very many.
Wow.
It's a little spooky to come up to, right?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine coming up, no lights or anything, going, dum, 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 dum. Hey, you have any candy? Like, get out of here, kid. But it was just different, but I know I enjoyed it more for my kid.
Yeah.
Like, watching my kids do it, that was really enjoyable.
Yeah, we used to go, man. I think I did it up till I was about 12. I think maybe it was
about
the last time.
Boys, man, we get out of it early.
Yeah, but man, it was fun times. It was definitely dope. I think the last time I went trick or treating, I dressed up as Blade.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember what I dressed up as. By the way, if anybody's going to an adult Halloween party, what's everybody's costume? Comment below. Please drop a photo. We'd love to see it as well.
Oh, man, most definitely.
Yeah.
Especially the beautiful ladies out there,
Guys, thank you for tuning in for the special Halloween edition. When you guys go out tomorrow, have a great time. Enjoy yourselves.
We out.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.